It's interesting when we look at the condition of modern man and we see that everything we've achieved technologically, scientifically, that it's a far cry from scientists of 100, 200, 300 years ago. In the classical age of Islamic Spain, scientists there believed that science properly understood, properly taught, was a means to peer into the creation of God. And in reality, it was to understand the nature of man's relationship with God. But in the modern era, we've become the proverbial Dr. Frankenstein. That we have used science to, in the words of Friedrich Nietzsche, to kill God. And what we've done is, with our hands still bloody, with the blood of God, we've set ourselves up as God. And instead now we create artificial life. We create sex dolls to pleasure real human emotions. And in a lot of ways, that is the core problem of modern humanity, is emotion, is empathy for our fellow human being. And with everything we have in technology, we still cannot fulfill that. We create artificial means, whether that be through drugs, to fulfill that gap that's in our life. And that gap will only ever be fulfilled in having a meaningful relationship with the Creator. But how do we understand the Creator? Is he this standoffish individual that just lets us get on with things, or does he have an intimate relationship with us? And we can see from the Quran that God has a very intimate relationship with us as human beings. In fact, he says he's closer to us than our own jugular vein. He understands us in a very intimate manner. And that's what we need to do. We need to get back to that particular type of relationship with God that is filling that void, filling that hole that we try to fill it up with artificial means, whether that's drink or drugs or excess sex or materialism. We have to get back to that intimate relationship with God and understanding that we were made for something more than just being consumers. What do? We consume the latest iPhone, we consume the latest piece of technology, and we do it all in the hope that it's going to fill that void. It's going to somehow, if we have the latest thing, it's going to make us popular. It's going to make us envied. But what are we envied for? For a piece of technology. We're not going to be appreciated for who we are. We're not going to be seen for who we are as human beings. We become an extension to a piece of property we own. But property can come and go. Wealth can come and go. And I hope one of the things that you've gained through these just short snippets that we've been doing here in Greenwich today and the city of London behind us is that urgency, that necessity to cultivate that relationship with God. And you can do it by doing simple acts of worship. Be kind to a cat, be kind to a dog, and fulfill it and buttress it with a fortress that is made up of prayer and fasting and pilgrimage and things like that. But unless you are striving to have that intimate relationship with God, you're always going to feel somehow that there's something missing. And it is within Islam that can be fulfilled. So what I say to anybody that's watching this particular video here today, inquire into the Quran. Look into the Quran. Look at the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is a man that held the power of kings in his hand, but he gave it up to live as a man in poverty. It's narrated that one time Umar bin Khattab, one of the disciples and companions of the Prophet Muhammad, came to see him. And he saw him sleeping on the floor on a piece of leather cushion. And he said, oh, look, the kings of the empires around us, they have better than this. Let us give you something better than this, O Prophet of God. And he said he was happy with that. Why? Because he had contentment of heart in his relationship with God. Because he understood that with a relationship with God, you can take upon any challenge that you face in life. Whether it's going to be the loss of wealth, the loss of a loved one. With faith and with a relationship in God, you can handle that. And we've all been there times in our life where we've had that test. But the real challenge is to meet it head on, not with something artificial like a drink or drugs or sex or materialism that are transitory. They're going to be gone. But God is ever present in your life. He knows your needs. Why? Because He created you. You're not going to get that in something that man created himself. So I'd say take an opportunity. Look outside your window. Look at that creation of God. Look at its complexity. And you'll understand that there's something more than this fleeting life. There's another life to come after this. One that is more substantial, one that's everlasting. And it will be satisfactory to everything you ever wanted. And you don't have to worry about an expiry date on it. You don't have to worry about making the next payment on it, because you make your payment in this life by doing good in this life. And any of us can do that. So look beyond the fleeting things of this life. Look beyond the transitory issues. Look beyond the cars, the beautiful women, the wealth, the bank account. Numbers, they can just keep on going and you're never going to catch up with them. But cultivate that relationship with God, and it will be that rock you need. In Christianity, they talk about the rock that you build upon. That is a relationship with God. And you can see it, and I'm going to say this, you can find it in science. It was Said Nursi, the great ascetic of Turkey in the last 100 years, that he said creation is a book. It's the book of God. But you have to understand the language to read it. And when you understand the language of the book of life, of creation, you understand that there is a God and He is ever present in your life. And He's just waiting for you. The Prophet Muhammad narrated to us that if we take a step towards God, He comes running towards us. He's not distant. He's close to us. All you have to do is just look for Him and you'll find Him. Because the thing is, He's looking for you.